At last, my review of the Giggle is ready to go live for the whole world to see. Oh crap, that's the wrong screenshot. Whoopsie! Hello, and welcome to my review of Kazoo, and today, I want to play a game. Some hungry hippos. The plot for the Giggle 60th Anniversary Part 3 is extraordinary. It's masterly directed by Chanya Button and written by Russell T. of the Davis, who create a compelling family drama, horror, mystery, action, surrealist thing. It never occurred to me to do an episode about the creepy puppet John Logie Baird used for inventing television. It's a historical premise that connects well to modern day and also provides you your scary Doctor Who monster of the week. And having this link to the Toymaker, a demonic puppeteer, long overdue a rematch since 1966, a character almost as old as Doctor Who itself, is a pretty inspired choice. I applaud the thought that has gone into this. The highlight of this episode for me is easily how the Toymaker has been written and performed. I've always been fascinated with how this character was portrayed in Big Finish stories like The Nightmare Fair and Solitaire, but I wasn't expecting Russell to harken back so much to the original story. His domain being unending sets of rooms, a new game at every corner, and the human puppet being a poor soul who lost and made into a pawn, like the King of Hearts or Joey the Clown. Very nice attention to detail here from writer Russell T. Rex, who honours and adapts the character superbly. I also love Murray Gold's music specifically for this character. The high-pitched choir sounds like soulless children singing. It's a bit spooky. And no, the salt subplot in Wild Blue Yonder does not redeem that story. Toymaker does not need a reason to exist in our universe. As established in expanded media, he can just be here, meaning that episode is still a pointless waste of time in my eyes. Notice that the Mavity gag isn't resolved? And yes, the Spice Up Your Life scene is incredible. It works much better than the Master's Rasputin dance. The Master was just being a bit daft for some random reason, whereas Toymaker's camp dance number made a statement to unit how powerful he is. It's relevant, yet manages to be fun and creepy. He's killing people with no remorse. In fact, he's loving it. Pretty unsettling. This plot has a lot going on, a lot of ground to cover, yet it never felt rushed. The pacing moved along very organically. All ground felt covered in a satisfying way. The main Giggle storyline builds to the highest stakes possible and leads, again, organically, to the bi-generation segment. A nice shift in story and tone. Speaking of bi-generation, when I heard the leaks of this happening, I groaned. Not only had this exact thing been done with the Meta-Crisis Doctor in Journey's End, but I thought it showed a lack of faith in Ncuti's Doctor. Having yet another 10th Doctor variant out there, and not letting Ncuti take over without his seal of approval, much like Eleven's cameo in Deep Breath. However, I was pleasantly surprised by how well this was handled. It completely changed my view on this being done. Russell doesn't just give the 14th Doctor a happy ending, he gives one to the Doctor as a whole, who we've been following for 60 years. This character has been through so much that it's hard to think he wouldn't get worn out, even with regenerations. So to see he gets to retire happily with close friends is quite uplifting. The bi-generation means we also get, not just a regenerated Doctor, but a rejuvenated one. The spirit of adventure is fresh with Ncuti's Doctor. There's less emotional baggage, like they're starting again as the first Doctor rather than the 15th. However, I have too much respect for Hartnell and the other Doctors, so I'll still refer to him as the 15th. The traditional regeneration concept and storyline has been done so much now, so why not change it up a bit for the 60th? It's amazing we never got to see the next Doctor help out the current one in their final adventure. I swear that's always been a rumour for these stories, and I have to say, it's very refreshing. Gives Ncuti an instant heroic and energetic entrance, whilst also providing a much needed multi-Doctor chemistry, especially for the 60th celebrations, where fans love to see this. Need I mention the 3 Doctors, the 5 Doctors, the Day of the Doctor, and every other of the Doctor. The lead character for 60 years finally reaches their destination, whilst also going out there again and renewed. Fantastic. And compelling. My only real criticism with this episode is to do with why this specific face came back. Why the 10th Doctor and the Nobles after it's been so long since the Doctor had a relationship with them and had been this incarnation? Why couldn't he have been 11 and settle with Amy and Rory, or 13 and settle with Graham, Ryan and Yaz, or any other family dynamic in the show? It's also a bit messy that the Doctor can just choose a face in regeneration and not be aware of why he did it. Also, how the did his clothes change? These are details that probably should have been touched on, even if it's just simple. How about this face came back because he didn't want to go and still had unfinished business? I could do so much more! That just writes itself. In fact, it's already been written since 2010. 2009. Or what if the toy maker chose this face to come back and gave him new clothes because 10 is his favourite Doctor and he wanted to play against him? A little quirky there, but at least it explains the clothes regenerating. Anyway, you get my point. I digress. Moving on. The performances are top notch. Catherine really excelled in the previous episode and continues to wow. However, I have to say David is at his best here. I love this Doctor's more foreboding side when facing the toy maker. He really sells the dread and weight of his foe, but his dramatic scenes, such as the regeneration and saying goodbye to his travels, he is effectively understated, especially compared to his outbursts in the 2 previous specials and the End of Time, conveying a raw emotion but seeming stronger, like he's trying to hold it together. An actor trying not to cry will always be more affecting than the one trying to cry on cue. I almost choked up to see him happy in the end, something this Doctor never seemed to get, always ending alone. If this was his final performance as the Doctor, which is doubtful, he certainly bowed out with nuance. Bonnie Langford has so much more depth to her than in her 80s episodes. She's sympathetic, empathetic to the Doctor when regenerating, but still retained her positive and energetic air that defined her character. It was lovely to see her, and I can't wait for her to pop up again. Gemma Redgrave continues to be a strong presence. Her aggressive turn of character was unsettling to watch, in a great way. Ruth Madley continues to charm, and as I previously suggested, Neil Patrick Harris steals the show. Special shout out to Charlie D. Mello as the human puppet, eerily distressed and horrifying. Great guest performance. And Ncuti Gatwa was alright, I guess. Nah, he's great. I loved how strong and self-assured he seems. He goes from joyous to heroic, tough and compassionate. And I loved his hug with 14. Another thing I love is his smile. He just radiates charisma and sincerity. This is one of the most effortless smiles of a Doctor. Their whole character shines from it. I wouldn't be surprised if he got cast instantly before his audition just by smiling to the casting team. He's funny, compassionate, strong and sincere. I simply cannot wait for more of him. And the fact he spent his appearance in this episode in just his underpants with no one bringing it up is f***ing funny as f***. Overall, I am very content with this episode. It celebrates Doctor Who, sets it up for a shining future, yet still prioritises the story at play over everything. There's still some plot details that need clearing up that weren't explained too well, but as a piece of enthralling entertainment, it excels. It's fun, emotional, scary, and exciting. I would give the Giggle a well-deserved 9 demented David Tennant puppet heads that will haunt your nightmares and every waking moment for the rest of your life out of 10. Happy 60th anniversary, enjoy your semi-retirement, Doctor, and good luck on your crazy adventures, Doctor. Thank you for watching, share your thoughts below, always laugh hard, run fast, be kind, and most importantly, spice up your life.